What's up, YouTube? Not much of a surprise here. Anybody remember the yard series about 2 years ago? When people went into our yard and clear cut a bunch of stuff they had no right to do it? Well, it looks like some people went and did it again. So this is Final Cut Pro. I'm going to show you the editing that I'm doing here, and I'm going to show you exactly what I want you to look at. We're going to go through. So the first thing I want you to look at here, look at how laid over this fence is. Obviously, someone had laid this over. That was not that bad. So first off, that's been broken. That's laid over. Now just wait a minute. You can see they left all the brush that they cut down. And they did this. This would be classified in the state of Alaska. This would be classified as criminal mischief. But because they had done it in a secretive way, that they cut a trail. They have cut a trail secretly through here. You can see all this stuff is laid down. This is fresh. I haven't done any yard work for 20 months. Almost 2 years I have not done any. So I did not cut anything of this nature. Now look at all this. Now, see, I originally didn't even know. I was thinking maybe they didn't. Look at all this stuff that's been cut down. All the loose brush here, all this stuff laid down is still there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to skip ahead because I don't want to bore you with this whole intro thing here. We're going to go back. I'm going to show you and deliberately point out that you can see they cut this stuff. And we cut forward. Now, before we go any further, there used to be a tree right back here. That tree's gone. I'm not seeing it anywhere. And we already had someone in town admit that they cut a branch, quote unquote, branch off of there. So someone deliberately already admitted to that being messed with. But they said they didn't cut the brush in the yard again. But what I'm wondering is, well, someone obviously did. And this proves it right here. Right there. So what you're going to see here is that's still green. Look at all this. I didn't do that. I have not done, and that was not a bear. That's not a bear. That is clean cut with some kind of machinery, handheld or whatever the hell they used. I didn't do that. I have not been in the yard doing work for 20 months because I had been working for the city. So I have not had time to even pick berries in my backyard yet. So, right there, that shows someone went into the yard again. And I would argue even look at all these. Look, they left all the brush. Look over here where my little mouse pointer is. Look, they left it all there. Okay? So, there's your evidence. The trees, the brush has obviously been cut. That is not a bear did that. That was clean cut. The tree is gone. And they did it in a very malicious and deceptive way in order to create just a necessary amount of fucking travel. But they didn't want anyone to see. So they cut, and I also want to take note of something else. I'm glad I thought of this right before we even, yeah. because there's something else I noticed. This fence has been pushed to the side. This fence right here. Look at that. It's been pushed to the side. Look at that. Look at that. So, someone has deliberately been going into my fucking yard. Again. What a surprise. You guys didn't learn the first time? I'm a YouTuber with 1 million views in 125 countries. I document literally everything I go through. So, I'm going to include this intro in this video, and then I'm going to have the video afterwards. And I may or may not leave a timestamp because I really just want to get this up there. I don't want to deal with this anymore. So I'm going to upload this to YouTube. The troopers will be given all my videos in relation to this, so they have the evidence themselves. They're going to be dealing with my mother because she has social security, so she does not have to pay a lawyer up front. And her name is still on the deed. Mine is as a inheritance. So that way, yeah, it's complicated. Both of our names are on the deed, but she does Social Security, so she does not have to pay for a lawyer. So that's where it's going, because this is a second-time offense, a repeat offense. They have done this twice, and I want to make an example out of you. Never again will I ever have anyone come back into my yard because of this. Eventually, your arrogant motherfucking entitled asses are going to learn. Stay the fuck out of my yard! Oh no. Yeah, definitely.